Welcome to Soul Wellness with Kristen, where we get into the nitty-gritty of various holistic modalities and explore exactly how they help you heal. I'm your host, Kristen, and I invite you to join me on this enlightening expedition where we explore the connection between mind, body, and spirit. In each episode, we'll talk in depth with holistic providers, medical professionals, therapists, and healers. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge, inspire you with stories of resilience, and provide practical tools that you can integrate into your daily life. So, find a comfortable space and join us as we explore the multifaceted world of holistic wellness. Get ready to learn how to improve every aspect of your life and simply feel good. The adventure begins now. Thank you for joining us. Today I have Lindsey Mann with me. She is with Enjoy Holistic Wellness, and she is an intuitive healing guide, astrologer, and medium. So welcome, Lindsey.
Hey, Kristen. It's fun to be here with you.
I know, we're going to have a good time. We always have a good time chatting about all the amazing things that you do. You do a lot of different things, and you support people in a lot of different ways. So let's start where it all started.
It all started a long time ago. Yeah. As a child, as I look back now, I realized that I had a very deep connection with energy that was surrounding me. There were times when I'd be sleeping in bed and feeling a presence and didn't know what it was. So I would say 12 Hail Marys and hope that, God would protect me. And as it turns out, I was definitely feeling spirit.
Wow.
It was made evident to me probably about 10 years ago. I went to a medium after my grandmother died. She was very insistent that despite the fact that she had 9 living children, that her granddaughter was the one that was going to make the end-of-life decisions for her. I had been a hospice nurse for, at that time, probably 5 to 6 years, and she knew that I'd be the one to make the right decisions for her. And intuitively, I had a feeling that she was declining in her health and not doing well. And then when the time came and the phone call came, I immediately got on a plane to support her through her transition. And what is truly amazing is the comfort that I've always had around people that are elderly, people that are very sick, people that are really wanting to connect on a very deep level, not just on the surface, very deep level. I get in conversations and we just go deep.
Yeah.
And so after she passed, I wanted to see a medium to receive the affirmations that I needed, my ego needed, to tell me that I did the quote unquote right thing with her. And what was interesting was as I sat across from this medium, she told me that I too had the gift to speak with spirit and to feel their communications. And I said, well, I don't really know what that means. And she explained to me the synchronicities that I've witnessed in my life, the connections that I've had with just about any sort of spirit. I didn't realize what was going on. I just thought I was crazy. And my grandmother really didn't come through in that reading. And I was surprised because I was there. The intention was to speak to my grandmother that had passed, and she was really standing off to the side because what was important was for me to hear from my spirit guides that wanted me to start exploring.
Wow.
So I was asking her, I said, well, what does one do when they have these gifts? Where do I learn how to utilize them and support myself through this? And she said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, maybe you'll start a course someday and teach. And she looked at me very baffled. And 6 months later, she called and said, hey, I have this course that I was guided to start, and here you go. So I signed up. I did level 1 and level 2 of intuitive listening with her and really started to explore the side of me that is able to channel. And it has been the opening to many different spiritual experiences that I've had, but also brought me on a journey of self-discovery. And I've sought out many holistic modalities in support of my own healing and to also learn how to practice them so I can support others. And being a nurse in this day and age, I find it, have found it challenging to be standing with somebody, holding their hand through a process while they're laying in a hospital bed, and knowing that there's something deeper spiritually and energetically that would be supportive. There is space for the medical interventions, but there's also a lot of space for energetic healing. And that is one reason I received my certification as a Holy Fire Reiki practitioner. I wanted to support the energy fluctuations in myself, and also I utilized them a lot on people at end of life. It was very supportive. So mediumship was really where it all started.
I feel like that is who is typically seeking you out. They're seeking you out to connect with maybe somebody that has passed away, something in that regards. But like you've told me, that's not always what they get. They're going to get what they need if they come see you. And it might be guidance from a spirit guide. It might not be their loved one that's just passed.
And I do encourage people to come in with that. That's their entry point. That's the comfort level that they have in the moment. A lot of people that are sitting in my office on the couch, the cute comfy couch I have, are there to speak with their deceased loved one. And it turns into so much more.
Right. They were guided to come to you. They were getting that intuitive nudge to go see you, and they're going to get what they need.
They're going to get what they need. And that's how we start out the session. We say a nice prayer and what is relevant for them to hear in this very moment. And that is the key. And the spirit guides that come through for support of that person have such beautiful, loving, kind messages that even for me, I need to hear them. Yeah, so many stories of healing that happen in just a short period of time.
Right. Do you support people in other ways too? Because I know that you've helped people maybe enhance their meditation skills, or maybe discover yoga, or you have a lot of astrology background too. There's a lot of different ways that you support people on their spiritual journey, whether they're just starting out or whether they just want to go deeper.
Yeah. So back in 2020, when COVID was in full force, I was guided to take a 200-hour yoga teacher training with a dear friend down in Florida. And we're here in North Carolina, so that seems kind of crazy, right? Well, I did it anyway and was fully supported by the universe to do that. And it was not something that I ever thought I would be doing. Yoga is not something that I had ever sought out, and didn't really understand much about it in the industry and all that. But it was the practice of Kriya, which in the Himalayan Kundalini yoga is what I practice, but we do Kriya movements that help to move the stuck energy within our body. We take the power that we have internally and utilize the Kriya, the movements, to get rid of the stuck energy that is holding us in this spot of stagnancy, victimhood, a space of not loving ourselves, and moves through us so quickly so that we can take that next step on our journey. So I took the 200-hour and then quickly the 300-hour and became a master in it, and just felt like the connection that I was making through the yoga practice as well as the meditation was something that I could not keep to myself. And when somebody comes to me and says, I want to learn how to meditate, I meet them where they're at. If you've never meditated before, it can be very daunting to, where do I start? There's so many different styles. And really, when somebody comes to me, it's not for me to throw everything at them. It's to, let's talk about where you're at in your journey and start small.
Right.
So many times I hear, well, I can't just sit in silence and just sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. And a lot of moms have sought support from me as well. And I'm a mother of 2 teenagers, and I can't even think of a time when I was raising them when they were little that I could find time for quote unquote self-care and self-love. But let's carve out just 10 minutes don't be scrolling on social media for 10 minutes. Go in your closet and find some moments of peace. And that's what I'm here to support, because I truly believe these practices have saved me as a mother, as a divine being that's raising the next generation, and seeking the support that I need.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of children, your career has taken kind of a little prenatal turn.
Yeah.
You're now working with either people that are trying to conceive, having trouble conceiving. You're also working with women that have lost a child, miscarried. So talk about that a little bit.
And this goes back to the community that is being created in our area. I was connected with this beautiful woman in Charlotte. She's a holistic practitioner. She was asking me to help support a women's group that she has, women that come together once a month, seeking support after they've lost a pregnancy or lost a child, infant loss. And with the training that I had as a prenatal instructor, it seemed so relevant to be there and supporting women and energetically supporting the loss that is felt within. The amazing connection that I've made over the years, and that is coming out and really starting to be more mainstream, is we as women, when we're seeking a pregnancy, seeking that connection, there's something deep within us that is wanting to be explored. And the generational, we can go back into ancestral lines if we really wanted to dive deep, but the energy that we store in our bodies as women, in that space, that first chakra, that's where we hold fear. That's where our foundation is. And if we're not energetically balanced in that area, it can be challenging to support a new life. It's no one's fault. There's nobody to blame. However, there is immense support for women that are in that space of trying to conceive. And what I've had happen is someone coming in and having that question, that curiosity of, what can I do? Because you want something so bad, you think, I have to do something.
Right.
It's deeply about your healing first. And as a mother, I have learned so much about myself and being a conscious parent. And there's a lot of things you learn when you're raising children. You learn about yourself, and you learn about the things that you really don't like and the things that you want to change. And there's beauty in that. It's all about awareness. I do offer private prenatal sessions virtually. I do them privately because there is so much connection that's happening between the mom and the baby that is so sacred. And I want to make sure that you're safe in the postures that you're doing, in the positions that you're in, and also be available for those questions. And then maybe I'll do classes, but one-on-one support feels very relevant.
That's beautiful. You also are pursuing animal communication certification as well, which I get asked that a lot here at Soul Wellness. I have people contact me asking me if there's an animal communicator. So I'm just absolutely thrilled that I'll be able to tell people. So as of July, you'll be offering that as well?
Yes, I'm going to be offering animal communication mid-July, and the experience has been astounding. I have learned so much about birds. People have pet birds. Birds have a lot to say. My grandfather had birds, and they'd be flying all over the house. I'm like, this is disgusting. I don't understand why you would want that. Horses. Now, horses, ever since I was a child, I was terrified of them. I was actually chased down by one, but I thought I was being chased, but now I know that the horse was just like, oh my gosh, a person, I'm lost.
She can hear me.
She can hear me. Yeah. That was a terrifying experience, but now I understand. I have 5 dogs, and I know that they've been trying to talk to me for years. I know we've been communicating, but it's been a much deeper level. And what is truly amazing is bringing in the Divine Mother for a healing for animals, and they love it. So as I'm conducting the session, And the class that I'm taking is virtual. So we'll have somebody on Zoom come in, and they either have their animal there or we have a photo of the animal, and we connect as my classmates connect energetically, and the soul of the animal just starts talking to us. And we intuitively we're just going back and forth, and people will ask, the owners will ask, is my dog happy? Why are they doing this behavior? Why is my dog neurotic? Why are they chasing down the neighbor's cat? And what is so interesting is when it's a past life experience that they've carried over. They carry over past life experiences just as we do.
Wow.
And their lifetime is so short compared to ours. And so they're living that, or they have this instinct of, I have to protect. And my teacher, Jolie, says, it's amazing the stories that she tells us, but she tells us a lot of times the instinctual things that our animals are doing is because of a past life experience. And they're carrying it into this new life because it feels natural for them. And we can simply connect and really start exploring, why is my animal placing shoes in a line? That happened. And what the animal was doing is like setting things up because this is crazy, because they and their owner had a past life together where they were setting up an altar for like a prayer service. So the animal would set it up. And then in the past life, the owner would go over and they would do like this prayer ceremony, but the dog was the one that did it. It's so fascinating, and you can't make it up. These stories that come across, and even in mediumship, you cannot make up. You can't make up these connections that are made. If you are divinely guided to see a practitioner, you might not even realize it's divinely guided, but you're just like, I'm drawn to that person. I don't know why. Explore it, because you just don't know. But the animal communication is something that I'm really, really excited about. Having the animals that I have now and seeing how they've supported my spiritual journey has just been so fascinating. So fascinating.
I love that. That's special. They're letting you practice.
They are. They're letting me practice, and they love it because now with 5 of them, it's like I have to divide up my time, but I can do like a group healing and offer them that support. And I can teach you how to do that too. So another part of what I offer is astrology. So astrology is amazing in and of itself. And I study the Vedic astrology, which is, well, Kristen, you can relate. It's very detailed. It's another way of seeing who you are and the energy that surrounds you. And what's beautiful and what I offer is seeing where you're at right now, the energy of the planets that are supporting you in this current moment, and providing you with practices that you can do to continue to support your energy and align with your best version of yourself.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I offer all these things, and it's like, well, how do you sum it all up? And years ago when I was in my yoga training, we were asked to explain who we are. Like, who are you? Well, I'm a mom, I'm a nurse, but really, like, who are you? And we're not made to be put into one box. And so when I have a client that comes and says, I want a 30-minute session just to explore who you are, you want to see, like, what am I about? What's Lindsey's personality? And then intuitively connecting with them and feeling, I think an astrology session would be appropriate for you. Let's start there. You want to go really deep into meditation? Amazing. What do you do now? Let's talk about where you're at. So meeting the client where they're at, meeting the person where they're at, and saying, what tools do I have that can support you on your journey? And if I don't have those tools, I know a lot of people that can provide that support that you need.
I feel like anybody that's listening to this that just feels stuck, they just know they're not happy. They just feel stuck maybe in their life, what they're doing. They know that there's something more. There has to be something more to this. I've been there. I know exactly what that feels like. I think you're a great person to open the doors, shine the light, and guide people in a few different directions. Like, okay, here you are, and here's where where I can take you to help get you. I'm the tow truck. I can help get you out of that.
Well, and also there isn't just one thing that we're supposed to be doing with our life.
Right.
There isn't just one sole purpose. People get fixated on what's my sole purpose. And there's a lot in the mainstream media about that. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's an entry point into self-discovery.
Agreed. Because when you start to find what you are supposed to do, you light up. You're so excited every night. It's like Christmas Eve. Like you can't wait. The next day is exciting, and it's different.
It's very different. And there's room for everyone to feel that way. There's space for everyone.
I agree. Tell us how to find you. If someone wants to work with you, what's the best way, easiest way to find you?
Yeah, my website, which will be evolving. I love updating my website, but it's lindseymann.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's
the best way.
2 N's, Mann.
Has to be 2 N's, yeah.
And you're Lindsey with an E.
Lindsey with an E, LINDSEYMANN.com.
Okay. And you have a contact form on there that people can fill out or email you?
Yep, they can email me from the website. Check it out, see what resonates. You can book a 30-minute telephone consult. Those are free.
Perfect.
We can talk, and then I can guide you to what session would be most appropriate.
Excellent. That sounds great. You're also on the Soul Wellness website as well as a provider. We love having you here. It's awesome to have a medium in the house.
And a soon-to-be animal communicator.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for your time today. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm sure you'll be back to tell us more.
More on the horizon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you for joining us on another enriching episode of Soul Wellness with Kristen. We hope the insights shared today have resonated with you, inspiring a deeper connection to your own journey towards holistic well-being. If you enjoyed today's episode, we invite you to subscribe, share, and reach out. Your feedback fuels our mission to bring you meaningful content that educates, empowers, and uplifts. Remember, you are a vital part of this community, and together we're creating a ripple effect of positive change.